Hi there! Welcome to Apple World. Throughout the long term, Lady Gaga has had no issue remembering her grievous truth, except for this time when the subtleties are simply horrible. What precisely has she uncovered? You might have to snatch a crate of tissues for this one. Please note before we start that the video contains disclosures that could be setting off for watchers who've gone through injury debasement or, on the other hand, comparative battles. Okay, we should get right to it. Anyone who has been following the award-winning star realizes that she's been extremely open about her past battles, and late subtleties have recently left her fans in tears. Yet before we get into that, how about we investigate 2014? Crazy previously examined an infringement that happened to her with radio DJ Howard Harsh. She made the case after Harsh got some information about being disregarded by a record maker at the time. She said, "I went through a few horrendous things that I'm ready to chuckle about now since I've gone through a ton of, mental and exercise-based recuperation and close-to-home treatment to mend throughout the long term. My music's been magnificent for me." During the meeting, Lady Gaga likewise examined her tune pig. She added that she had a ton of torment that she needed to deliver, and the most ideal way was through her music, so she composed the melody pig about unsettling rage, wrath, and enthusiasm. Crazy proceeded to examine how she was resolved not to be characterized by the episode prior to examining the one who constrained himself on her. She uncovered that he was 20 years more established than her, at the time, yes, a 39-year-old driving himself on a 19-year-old ship. Likewise didn't have any desire to specify the individual, yet recalled that she once saw him at a store, and she was in a real sense deadened with dread standby at a store, not prison in any case without precedent for 2016, the CA. When sieved this way, vocalist conceded that she experienced dysfunctional behavior. This happened when she visited the Ali Forney Focus, a destitute youth cover in Harlem. During the visit, she plunked down with the youthful occupants for a genuine discussion and later said, "I experienced the ill effects of a psychological sickness. I experienced the ill effects of PTSD. I've never let anybody know that before." So here we are again in 2018, while tolerating a benefactor grant at the Droop Entertainer establishment. Third yearly supporter of the specialist grants, Lady Gaga discussed her psychological well-being battles. In the brief discourse, she discussed how her psychological battles later transformed into persistent actual agony, fibromyalgia, fits of anxiety, intense injury reactions, and mental twistings. Then, in a meeting with CV's Sunday Morning in 2020, she discussed the psychological well-being battles that drove her to despise her dramatic persona. She said, "I completely abandoned myself. I loathed being popular. I detested being a star. I felt depleted and spent." And in a stunning new development, she uncovered that she had contemplations about taking her life in the meeting. She likewise said that being amassed by fans while out in broad daylight was especially setting off well as of late. Focused on her battle, Lady Gaga opened up on the primary episode of Oprah Winfrey in Ruler Harry's new Apple television series, The Me You Can't See, which handles the disgrace around psychological wellness. On the show, she was extremely open and weak about the occurrence that occurred quite a while back. First, she repeated that the horrendous trial occurred when she was only 19. Then, at that point, she went on and said, "A maker shared with me, 'Take your garments off,' and I said no. And I left, and they let me know they planned to consume all my music, and they didn't stop. They didn't quit asking me, and afterward, I recently froze, and I just while portraying the horrendous occurrence, it was obvious that Crazy's aggressor truly did a number on her yet again." She didn't specify the name. The vocalist said she didn't name the maker since she would rather not face that individual at any point down the road anyway. She thoroughly regards the survivors who openly uncovered their aggressors. Might you at any point accept that the maker secured her for a really long time? A while later, then he dropped her off pregnant on a corner since she was retching and wiped out. Wow, how horrible. Could somebody at any point really be? And the most exceedingly terrible part, Lady Gaga had definitely nobody to discuss the occurrence. The vocalist made sense of that she didn't have a specialist. She didn't have a therapist. She didn't actually have a specialist to help her through it, so she kept it to herself for a really long time. And out of nowhere, she turned into the star we, as a whole, know and love. Crazy was venturing to the far corners of the planet, going from lodging to carport to limo to organize, yet she never managed what she had gone through well. That was until she begun feeling an aggravation she was unable to make sense of. Clearly, she was confessed to the medical clinic for intense torment and deadness before the specialist sent her to see a specialist. While depicting the aggravation, Crazy said she was unable to feel her own body first. She felt all-out torment, then she felt numb, and afterward she was wiped out for a really long time after she likewise made sense of that. First, she was befuddled when a specialist was gotten in light of the fact that she failed to really see the reason why she wanted a specialist for actual torment. Anyway, she was determined to have fibromyalgia, a condition that causes torment, restlessness, exhaustion, and at times mindset swings after a damaging occasion. Then it hit her that it was a similar aggravation she felt after she was contaminated by the record maker after she went to the clinical consideration. Her specialist gathered a group for herself, and she disappeared to a spot that she actually goes to once in a while for a reboot. She added that she is exceptionally thankful to the group that in a sense saved her life. The star likewise uncovered that she has an unconventional arrangement of pills that she takes. She realizes it's extremely dubious in a great deal of ways, yet as per Crazy, the medication has truly assisted her, with letting simply say that the recuperating system was not quite as quick as she suspected. It would be a very long time subsequent to going to the clinic. She had a complete maniacal break and was in an ultra condition of suspicion on the grounds that of the injured Yuri obviously fans never saw yet. It was all the while continuing in any event. When she acknowledged her Oscar for A Star Is Brought into the World in 2019, who might have thought she looked so blissful and even demolished one of an exhibition at the Oscars, whatever amount later for her. November 2019 Elle cover interview. The vocalist said, "I have been damaged in various ways by my profession throughout the years from a wide range of things. However, I made do, and I've continued onward, and when I took a gander at that Oscar, I saw torment. I couldn't say whether anybody comprehended it when I expressed it in the room. Yet I comprehended it." Recollect this was likewise around the same time she dropped a line of show dates on her Joanna World visit. However, no one knew precisely exact thing was going on. Crazy proceeded to portray the most common way of recuperating her emotional well-being as a course of mending, and my psychological wellness has been a sluggish ascent. She added that as much as she's better at the second getting set off even once is still enough for her to cut once again into sensations of physical and close-to-home agony. She really uncovered in the meeting that she as of late hurt herself. Yet she exceptionally deterred the work on saying you realize the reason why it's bad to self-hurt, since it aggravates you, and believe you will feel quite a bit improved on the grounds that